All right, let's talk about the five stages of grief that someone goes through during a breakup or when you lost someone. This model goes back a long way. It's from 1969. It's also known as the Kubler-Ross model. It has five stages, as the name says, and don't worry too much if you're going through a breakup and you are not respecting the order of the stage. It's normal that your mind is going to be all over the place, and you're going to be all over the place through the stages as well. It's just a model. Anyway, I think it's useful to have somehow a map that can help you, understand what you're going through. Instead of talking about the five stages of grief per se, I'm gonna attach to each stage a Bob Dylan song. So you might know or you might not know that Bob Dylan has written a lot of songs on the topic of breakup, and there are also different versions for each song, so that through the years a song could mean something totally different because the tone changes, the music changes, the lyrics change. So I think that Bob Dylan can be very helpful because even if you just follow one single song through the years, you can see how his mind is shifting and he's processing the emotions, and a song that before could have expressed deep longing and a sense of sadness, now it's maybe full of anger, or now it's just there's a lot of more distance between the main character and the person he's broken up with. So let's go through the stages. The first stage is denial. This stage involves a sort of a shock and a disbelief, because what happens, it does not match your map of reality. You are basically thrown into chaos, and you don't know what to do, and you are experiencing a lot of pain. For this stage, I chose a song that's called "One Too Many Mornings," and I chose a specific version of this song. The first thing is because I like it, and the second thing is that because, as I say, there are many different versions of Bob Dylan songs. So I am gonna link you not necessarily at the studio version, but at a specific version of a song. This one is from the Rolling Thunder Review. As I said, it's called "One Too Many Mornings," and in my opinion, expresses very well the disbelief that someone feels at the early stages of a breakup. He's basically looking at the reality, and everything is the same, but in a sense, it doesn't look the same. From verse 1, when he says, down the streets, the dogs are barking, and the day is getting dark. As the night comes in, are falling, the dogs, they lose their bark. It's just a simple scene of reality, but now that the person is not there anymore, there's something almost uncanny about it. And also when he says, then I gaze back to the streets, the sidewalks, and the signs. Never knew I one too many morning and 1,000 miles behind. So he's looking at a reality that is the same, but it's clear that something has shifted, and it's the same, but it can never be the same in a sense. The second stage is anger. Anger as the name says, you're gonna feel a lot of hate, a lot of course, anger, as the name of the stage says, because once the reality of the breakup sets in, it's normal to have this deep, dark feeling that goes way down to hell, I would say, with those roots. You're full of resentment, you're full of anger, you're full of rage. You just want to destroy the whole world. The whole world. For this stage, I chose "It's All Over Now, Baby Blue." Again, it's not a studio version. Actually, there was a version that I found a while ago that I liked better than the version I actually chose. It's from the same year and the same month of this song that I chose, but for some reason must have been taken down from YouTube. Anyway, this one is pretty good as well. I like it. I like it as well. It's very similar in the tone. And from the first verse, it says, "You must live now. Take what you need. You think it will last, but whatever you wish to keep, you better grab it fast." So things are getting pretty bitter down here. The main character is separating from the person, and there's also another element that can cause rage and can throw you into chaos like very few things in life. That thing is betrayal. And betrayal is described very well in the verse that says, "The lover who has just walked out your door has taken all his blankets from the floor. The carpet too is moving under you. It's all over now, baby blue." It's a verse full of rage. And even here we see, that reality is shifting, is not the same. As I said, it's not that every song is totally contained within a single stage. So even in the songs, since your mind go all over the place, the songs reflect perfectly that. So you can feel, let's say, at home in the songs. The third stage is bargaining. Bargaining is a stage where you somewhat overcome the anger and you try to come to terms with the situation and maybe find a solution and promise to that you would change or try to forgive a betrayal or something like that. But by the way, it's very hard to forgive a betrayal. Probably you can. It's very easy to sweep it under the rug and to get it to blow up in your face a couple of years down the line. So I would deeply recommend not to sweep it under the rug and take it seriously, because betrayal is not something that can easily be overlooked. Someone claims to have forgiven betrayal. I know a few examples firsthand, but I would say that, I don't want to throw numbers here, but almost always it means that things are over and you just have to come to terms with the fact that everything is over. So let's go back to the bargaining stage. For this stage, I chose a live version of a song that possibly Bob Dylan sang only once live, and probably because the song is very deep, very personal, very felt by Bob Dylan. The song is called "Abandoned Love." I think it was recorded at the bitter end, if I'm not mistaken, at some time during the 70s, sorry. Basically, the time was when Bob Dylan was recording "Blood on the Tracks," which is an album that is basically entirely on a man trying to overcome a breakup. So I suggest that you go and see that album as well and listen to it. So "Abandon Love," why I chose this song? Because of a few verses even here. He knows that he has to leave, but he tries to stay a little bit more with his loved one. And when he says at the beginning of the song, "I can hear the turning of the keys. I've been deceived by the clown inside of me. I thought that he was righteous, but he's vain. Someone's telling me I wear the ball and chain." So there's also deep regret in this stage. He's trying to come to terms with his guilt as well, and there are a few more lines that I want to tell you. I don't want to spoil it entirely for you, but I'll go right to the end of the song when he says, "So step lightly, darling, near the wall. Put on your heavy makeup, wear your shawl. Won't you descend from the throne from where you sit? Let me feel your love one more time before I abandon it." So basically, he's trying to bargain with the reality, but in the end, he knows it's over. And after the bargaining comes the depression stage. So the for the depression stage, where basically you accept that the fact that the relationship is over, but you still basically, mm, and here I I'll talk about another song. You are basically tangled up in blue, so you are basically full of sadness. You know, you feel the sadness raging during this stage. But anyway, for this song, I didn't choose tangled up in blue, but I chose "You're a Big Girl Now." Uh, "You're a Big Girl Now." You know why I chose it and why I chose it for the depression stage. It's basically because of the verse that says, "Well, I know where I can find you. In somebody's room. It's a price I have to pay. You're a big girl all the way. You're a big girl all the way." So I'll say that again. I chose it because of this verse. "Oh, I know where I can find you. In somebody's room. It's a price I have to pay. You're a big girl all the way." And even for this song, I chose the live version from the Rolling Thunder review. And in this song, there's also in the beginning something that can go back to the denial stage when he says, you know, "Your conversation was short and sweet. It nearly swept me off of my feet. And I'm back in the rain, and you are on dry land. You made it there somehow. You're a big girl now." And there's also an element of bargaining here, so it goes back to the previous stage, the third stage, when he says, "See what you can do, I can make it through, you can make it too." So, you know, he's struggling to come to terms with reality. Anyway, but I chose it for the depression stage because of the version I told you. It's probably one of the most painful verse I've ever heard in the history of music. And let's move to the fifth and last stage, which is acceptance. Basically, the strong feelings have faded. You are moving on with your life. You accept that it's over. You don't. You stop having conversation with your significant other, your ex significant other, and you know you're going on with your life. You are living life again. For this stage, I chose most of the time. I didn't choose the studio version, but an unplugged version. Uh, I chose it because of these verses. Most of the times, I'm cool underneath. Most of the times, I can keep it right between my teeth. I got enough faith and I got enough strength. I can keep it all away, way beyond arm's length. I can survive. I can endure. I don't even think about her. So as you can say, is a it's a very vulnerable. So as you can see, it's a very vulnerable way of talking about breakup because you know you are going on with your life most of the time, but there are still moments of sadness, moments of weakness, if you want. So he talks about it by stating basically the opposite. So he says most of the time, you know, I'm cool and I'm going on with your life, whatever. But you know, deep down, sometimes I still feel the pain. And there's also another verse that made me choose this song, and it's when Bob Dylan says, "Most of the times my head is on straight. Most of the times I'm strong enough not to hate. Wow, I mean, hate, you know, it's very easy to hate. This is uh, this is what this song made me understand. It's very easy to hate, to brew in resentment, in rage, but you have to be strong not to hate, and you cannot fake it. You cannot fake it. You have to be strong enough not to hate. You can't be fake enough not to hate. I also chose this song because in a verse it says, most of the times I'm halfway content. Most of the time I know exactly where it all went. It went to hell, basically.